Hey guys, can we all just agree that this whole Harley versus sport bike rider thing versus anyone else riding a bike is just dumb? Like, all of this is just dumb. Maybe it's because I'm a new rider, so I'm not fully immersed in every single facet of motorcycle culture. I like learning more and more about bikes, especially the riding part, really. And honestly, that's the part that I really care about. I just like to ride. And up until a year ago, I had no idea about all the different bikes that there were. I only knew three main categories. There was Harleys, there were sport bikes, and there were dirt bikes. And that was all I knew. And to me, at the time, anyone riding a motorcycle looked pretty cool. But I don't understand this Harley versus sport bikes thing. I don't even know what the hell to call it. It's just people talking shit. And then other people taking it really personally, as if it's an attack on their entire character. But they're just critiquing the brand, critiquing motorcycles, and critiquing your fashion choices, I suppose. Which I also find interesting, actually, is like how fashionable motorcycle riding can be, actually. I am not a clothes centric person. I wear clothes because I need to wear clothes and I can't run around naked all day. But of all the sports or of all the hobbies I saw, I'm really surprised at how fashion conscious motorcycle riding can be. And, very specifically, again, Harley riders. Like, you guys just make it easy, man. And this is what I find really funny about all of this. Like, whatever Harley business practices are, their R&D, their build qualities, it would seem that where Harley has put their money over the years is in marketing. Their marketing team, whatever you say about Harley, their marketing team was genius. Like, notice even in in any argument over bikes, all other bikes are just all other bikes seem to be grouped together just based on categories. Sport bike, ADV bike, dual sport, dirt bikes. I don't know, whatever else category, right? There's that. And then there's just Harley. Like, Harley just stands alone as its own company, which is pretty impressive in that sense, right? Harley has really done a very good job of branding itself, marketing itself, becoming essentially the quintessential motorcycle in American. They cornered that market, to be sure. Now, Harley likes to brand itself, and I guess by association, Harley riders brand themselves as this. But they've really taken the 1% bike gangs look, and I feel like they hijacked that, corporatized it, branded it, labeled it, marketed it, and then they sell it. Now, this is not any critiques on 1% bike gangs, right? Because I'm not an idiot. And I enjoy riding, right? Like, I don't agree with that lifestyle, but that's also why I'm part of that other 99%, you know? It's cool. But the part that gets me is that there are all these other people who seemingly are cosplaying as a 1% bike gang. And I say cosplaying, I mean, just because, I mean, you are. It seems like you hold the same loyalty that you would have to an MC, except it's a company who's just selling you this look. And maybe that's why those people are the ones who are getting the most offended when people are making fun of Harleys. Like, because I would imagine that the really hardcore biker gangs, like, I don't even know if they're watching YouTube, but if they are, they'd probably see that and just shrug their shoulders, talk some shit, and just move on with their fucking day, bro. Like, we are nothing to them. Like, what do they care about our opinion? So why do these guys, other guys, care so much? I see lots of videos where people are just talking shit about Harleys because, I mean, sorry, there's good reasons to. Every business has critiques about it. Every business can be critiqued. You know, that's how we improve. Or maybe that's why Harley has taken so long to improve. Because they don't listen to critiques and they get very defensive about it. I don't know. Is the average Harley rider a sign of what the Harley company has been? I mean, they obviously screwed up Buell. Like, one of the guys near my work, he has a Buell motorcycle. That is a really great looking bike. You know? If Harley were making bikes that looked like that, they'd probably have more people buying motorcycles from them. Quite honestly. I just don't understand. I don't understand this brand loyalty or taking it so defensively. Like, I'm a Honda simp. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Honda stuff. Probably just because my parents had a lot of Honda cars and an Odyssey van, you know? And so I find it amusing that the same company that makes the Civic also makes the Fireblade. Like, that's a fun juxtaposition there. And there's a lot of valid critiques of Honda. You can talk all the shit you want about Honda. I mean, they're a major corporation. I'm not that fussed about it. I don't know. I don't take it personally. Like, I just like Honda as a brand. I'm not saying they're the best brand in the world. They're one of the most reliable, though. But I'm not gonna die on a hill for Honda. I mean, again, they're a major corporation. What they do in their business, that's up to them. It just seems like you're worried about your image being tarnished. It just seems like it's for riding, like Harleys, you ride Harleys for image. Especially the guys not wearing a full face helmet. Because it has to be said, dudes riding Harleys, but they have a full face helmet, they will wave back at you. And, you know, I'm not going to hold it against somebody for not waving at a complete stranger. I get that. Maybe you only wave at people you actually genuinely know. That's cool. I will say though that everyone else riding, we all at least like acknowledge each other, but the Harley riders with no helmet or the Harley riders with only a half helmet, yeah, they just don't want to. Which, all right, that's fair. It is a pattern I've noticed though. And hey, I mean, there's other sport bike riders too, who are the exact same way. It seems to really just be not so much about enjoying riding a motorcycle, but more enjoying the image you feel like you're portraying while you're riding a motorcycle. Because yeah, like because look, let's face it, anybody who buys a bike enjoys speed. Like there's no getting around that. Let's not bullshit each other about this. Like we definitely enjoy speed in some way, shape, or form. It's probably why we put up with being directly in the wind of that speed. Is because it's just part of the experience. But there's a time and place to be doing quasi racetrack riding. And you have to pick your times. And there's a lot of videos, as you can see, where people are not picking their times wisely. And you're honestly just lucky that you're not hitting somebody else. You know? I mean, we take the risk ourselves. Right? There's no problem. I have no problem with that. That's part of the challenge of riding. And part of the reason why I like to keep riding and keep learning more about riding. Because it's just something you can keep evolving. You can keep growing into. But if there's a lot of people around, like, don't do it. Just chill, man. You know? Because the other people around you did not volunteer for this. They did not sign up for riding a motorcycle. Most of the people around here are just trying to commute. They're just trying to get to wherever they're trying to get to. So yeah, I mean, you have people buying bikes that they shouldn't be buying, that are way too powerful, or they're just really flashy, and it looks really nice. But do you really need all of that? Probably not. Are you actually using all of that power? I mean, like somebody who buys a Ferrari, right? Like, are you actually using all of that power in that car? Probably not. And so this is what I've come to as somebody who's relatively new to riding. So I come at it with a outside perspective, which, you need sometimes. You need to have an outside perspective. And it seems to me that Harley riders, and notice that it's not cruiser riders, but very specifically Harley riders. I suppose you could say that Harleys and sport bikes, as a type, are more than likely going to attract the person that is all about image, wants to be flashy, wants to just look the part, basically. And this isn't all Harley riders or sport bike riders. And I don't think I need to explain that because the people who are taking that personally, I mean, you're the people that I'm talking about. And there's a whole bunch of people who ride Harleys and sport bikes who watch this. Well, actually, you probably didn't watch this because this is there's probably only like 50 views on this. So, but you know what? Amongst those 50 of you, if you've gotten to this point so far, there's some of you there who do not take that personally, who just shake your head. You ride either a Harley or a sport bike, and you're just like, yeah, that sounds legit. And honestly, if you're just riding for flash and if you're taking this really personally or you're getting this heated, like, my goodness, man, stay off the road. Because how worked up will you get over anything that happens on the road? These are just videos of some random fucker just talking shit, dude. Calm down. Well, they say never to tell somebody to calm down, so I don't know, take a breath. Just breathe, man. Breathe. That's how I would break it down. If you want to be flashy, buy a Harley or a sport bike. If you just want to enjoy the ride, buy a naked bike or an ADV bike. The most sensible riders ride naked. And that's why I think this whole thing between Harleys and sport bikes is dumb. You're both after the same thing. Presenting that image.